Thank you.
Portugal the Man here on 91.9 WFPK. Again, they're playing at the Palace tonight. Twin Peaks opening up the show. They got a brand new album called Woodstock. We are so excited to have them back here in Louisville, Kentucky, especially since last time we talked, you were telling me a story about the last time you were in town was the day Muhammad Ali died.
Yeah, it was pretty heavy around here. I mean, obviously just and a legend like that, and the seeing how the city all came together, and we just out drinking whiskey, cheersing to him all night. It was it was pretty crazy to
I feel
be
like
here.
It started raining the second that we found out.
Yeah,
like not
seriously,
the whole night, but just like Muhammad Ali said, rain.
Yeah, it was a super heavy day, but also like really beautiful to see, and everybody celebrate his life, and just what an awesome guy.
I mean, what amazing timing. That's bittersweet, I guess, you know, because I don't know, you're touring around. I'm sure you have those moments where something might sync up like that. But
for sure.
Just and
even when it's sad, something like that, it's still super beautiful and special in a way. Like I mean, if that guy's got to go, I'd like to be in his town when he does, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you can go visit the, the grave and everything now.
Oh yeah,
so.
yeah, totally.
It's a really great way to start out an interview, is talking about someone that's passed away.
Yeah. Talk about amazing people dying.
Right. It was interesting, though, because the last time we actually talked, we were on the phone, and it was just like a few days after Feel It Still had become a single. The album was not out yet. And I think my understatement of the year was like, well, that's a catchy single. It's probably going to do all right for you guys.
That's what we thought, too. We knew we had a good song. It was like, yeah, I think this is going to do pretty well. And then right around then, we started kind of realizing what we had. I think in the same couple of days, we had Kathy Lee and Hoda say that it was their favorite song of the summer, and Lars Ulrich from Metallica saying it was his favorite song this summer. I'm like, wow, that's if we just get the people in the middle, I think we might have something here. Turns out we did.
And you got the people in the middle.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
I mean, so I got to ask this: has life actually noticeably changed? Does that really change when something like that happens? Because you've got plenty of comparison at this point. You guys have been a band for a long while now. To see it from both sides, now one crosses over. That's different.
Yeah, it's things are different and things are still the same. We're still just on the tour bus playing shows. They're just letting us in some nicer places now. You know, it's cool. We won a Grammy. That was
Grammy.
That was psycho. They let us in there. That was crazy. And so yeah, it's definitely the people that it just seems like we just cast the net a little wider. It seems like everybody knows the song. It's funny though, not everybody knows who we are yet.
Yeah.
And everybody, if you hummed them the song, everybody's heard it at this point. But a lot of people still might not know that's us.
Well, I had the moment. I've got a 10-year-old son, and when I walked in his school and it was playing over the cafeteria, and all the kids were singing along to it, I suddenly realized that's like, that's a future nostalgia track for him. Yeah. Like, 10, 15 years, he's like, oh, man, that was a song of my youth right there.
Totally. Yeah, you never know how that stuff goes, but that's the craziest stuff. When I have a friend who's like a first grade teacher, and she texts me, she's like, yo, there's kids playing like hopscotch singing Feel It Still out. And I'm like, what? That's a big deal. That's awesome. Those are the kind of stories that we like to hear.
And it's attached to such a good record too, because Woodstock. I know it's not a political album, but calling it Woodstock and sort of the backstory of why, I sort of wonder where you guys see it in that landscape, of politicalness or anything. Do you see that it fits in there, or is it sort of still separate of all of that, just with ideology?
Yeah, I mean, that is kind of what rock and roll is about. I mean, rock and roll is I want to hold your hand. It's all about subtleties. And, yeah, I mean, you have to talk about what you know and what you believe. And, I mean, you just got to be honest with your music.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen such good stuff come from that because, like Greenpeace. I don't know if you guys are involved in Greenpeace or they just tweeted at you, but it was calling, it was associating your band. It was a great quote here: respect for all other living beings on the planet, including not only our fellow humans, but the living environment around us.
Yeah, that's growing up in Alaska.
Totally.
That's what you're taught. That's the Native Alaskan communities. That's you appreciate what's around you and you take what you need. You don't take more than that. And that's just who we are. And I mean, the things that, like I said, it's just what we believe in.
Well, to bring that mentality out to the world when you've suddenly got the bigger megaphone, you know.
Yeah, there's no political ties when it comes to the environment and the people around you. I mean, it's just caring about people and caring about what we're all doing.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I am going to bring up the Grammys.
Yeah,
do you want to set the Grammy thing straight then? If you got the moment here, why not?
Oh yeah.
Do what they say we did, but not in the way that they said.
Yeah,
we
it's
did.
funny. Yeah, yeah. I said "Hail Satan." I thought it was something funny to. I thought it was something funny to do. Something I've always wanted to do, and I don't actually worship the devil, and but we're trying to. I'm creating conspiracies within conspiracies because, you know, we really got to set the record straight. And the Illuminati just really doesn't have as much power as people think they do in Hollywood.
You get 10% off at participating Red Lobsters, and that's it.
Yeah, they do have the best parties. But like as far as a lot of like the get ahead and like all this stuff deals with the devil, it's like it's really not that great. It's just kind of just a secret publishing company, you know, and they're like a PR firm that was like they had their time like a lot when they first started. They were legit. They've kind of been watered down like so many things, sadly.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean,
well,
it's like what happened with CSAC. You know, you're not gonna outdo ASCAP and BMI. Like, yeah, the Illuminati had their moment in the early 2000s, but the internet just really kind of blew them out.
Yeah, and it really did. You know, it's like anything that's so hard to do. Is you know, once you spread wide enough, it's really hard to keep the quality control up. So, anywho, we did say that at the Grammys. Said a lot of other nice things. I think
you did say a lot of nice things.
I kind of blacked out during it.
I mean, that's a big moment for a band right there. Like you make it to the Grammys, and it's interesting because you didn't make it for like rock band. Like it was what,
or
like
alternative band.
It was like
Despacito.
Pop vocal duo. Was that it?
Yeah, it was best
duo or group performance,
yeah.
which I think is a category that really befit like the boy bands of the late 90s, early 2000s. Like the pop world is all singular entities. Obviously, we're 5 or 6 dipshits at any given time. But yeah, I mean, the pop world is like Justin Bieber, Selena Gomez, Ariana Grande, like these single kind of good-looking young folk. We're 5 weird-looking dudes from the Northwest. So the duo or group thing, like I think Tony took one home. I know the Amy Winehouse and Tony Bennett duet record, like the Jazz Standards duet record, took one home. It's a crazy category, but it's definitely a pop category. And, we got him.
But here you are. I mean, you're operating in the pop world. You know, whether you wanted to or not, it has now come for you.
Oh, I'm so into it. It's fun. It's really, really fun.
It's hilarious.
And it's great. I think that a lot of the pop world is having fun with us as well because unlike most pop stars, we don't care.
Right.
And we don't have like, oh, they have an image they have to look. It's like, oh man, we can go in there and so there's like, how you doing today? And there's a lot of people who's like have talking points and there's questions you cannot ask. And we don't want to do that. If you ask a question we don't like, I'll say, I'm not going to answer that question. Or I'll just lie about it because who cares anyway? It's fun. And so we've been having a really good time with it, and they've been having a good time with us.
But it's weird music for like the masses. Like Feel It Still is this great, concise pop song. And you think like, I was about to say some kid walks in a record store and buys the album, but if you're talking about pop, maybe it's more like the Spotify playlist or something. But they get on there and then they're going to hear some of the other song, and to me that's exciting. You know?
Our favorite thing. We still open up our shows. Lately, we're opening up with "For Whom the Bell Tolls," 1986 Metallica, and everybody that's there to see "Feel It Still" that only knows "Feel It Still." It's so great to watch, and we feel a responsibility in the pop world to bring back and show where we came from. And yeah, a lot of it's 80s metal and Motown.
You're also you're hearing the words of a guy that wore a vintage Slayer T-shirt on the Ellen DeGeneres show.
Yeah.
I mean,
and I just like to sneak in my little funny things. I'm not a guy that's gonna like do anything crazy, but I just got just a little bit of I feel like
he's a
band like us getting back into the pop world. We have a responsibility to shake things up just a little bit.
You're a real rabble rouser, you are.
just a little bit. I'm never gonna, what do you call it? Like baby anarchy? Like
sure.
Just like
anarchy.
Yeah. It's more like mischief. I don't know. It's just it's something a little different and a little fun. And we don't take ourselves too.
Oh God! I mean, but it needs it. I mean, you watch something like any of the award show, maybe besides the Grammys, like the MTV Music Awards. I mean, sure, you can say what you want about MTV. It's definitely not what we grew up on, but the awards show is not either. And I thought, well, that's because the absence of punk and rock, and
totally.
those folks being in the crowd.
Yeah,
like you can't get good stories when it's everybody concerned with their
sure.
image.
Yeah, there's no like Axl Rose, Kurt Cobain fights backstage. There's a lot of that.
It's like an Instagram beef. That's about as far as you get.
Yeah, so that's a lot of the bummer too. It's like you can't. There's a lot less in the moment things because. Just things are too big now with social media and everything. But it's cool. I mean, luckily we do have people that like Kendrick Lamar, that like hip hop is kind of the new punk, and those people that are really carrying the torch. Like, oh my God, the Kendrick Lamar performance at the Grammys, best Grammy performance I've ever seen
amazing.
in my life.
It's a single tear running down my cheek.
Maybe best performance, and that was to start it. I'm already freaking out. We had just won a Grammy. We're at the Grammys, and I see that. And I'm like, oh my God.
I know it's punk. There's no boundaries. There's no rules in that.
It had everything. It had the comic relief breaks and like the distraction thing from
I'm Dave Chappelle.
you two wandered through the stage and then wandered off.
It was like this whole thing was just crazy good, and that was Kendrick Lamar.
And that's the thing. So here you are, again in this world with maybe more access to folks that you idolize or respect or whatever it is. Yeah. I know that there's hip hop fans in the band. We all grew up on that in some way. And now, when I listen to this record, those beats are all over this record, and they've been there for a little bit too. I mean, even back to Black and Yellow, Red and Purple, Green, that one too. But so it's not like that's a new thing. But I sort of wonder, like, now that you have that access, are you reaching out? Or are they coming to you to say, let's collaborate?
Yeah, totally. And there's like a lot of stuff that we're doing that we can't totally talk about on the radio yet, but yeah, we got some cool things coming up, and I wish we just had more time, because once you get a hit song like that, a lot of people reach out for writing, and I've always wanted to do that. It's so much fun I would love to work with another artist and like help them write a song instead of us writing our own thing. There's so many times we've come up with lyrics that I'm like, man, that's amazing. Like, I can't sing it, but if like Rihanna sang it, that'd be amazing. Yeah. And so I'd really love to work with the people, and we do have the chance now. It's just when they're like, hey, let's do something. I'm like, cool. Well, I'm busy until halfway through 2019. Right. What are you doing around then? And there's just not a lot of time, but we are trying to work. We've done a couple of things, and we are working with some people, and it's pretty fun.
The enticement's good right there. You've baited me. We
don't know. We're gonna try a lot of stuff. We just like experience, man. We want to do everything we can, and we've gone from all over the board. Just eating rice out of at truck stops and on the sidewalk, and then walking the red carpet at the Grammys, and we just kind of want to do everything.
Yeah. Well, promise me one thing. Sometimes the artist gets a little taste of the honey, and then they become Sugar Ray.
Oh yeah. No, man. We keep ourselves in check. That's the whole reason with this album. It's one of the reasons we threw away an album before this that we recorded, and we got too comfortable. Mm-hmm. We were recording with Mike D at Rick Rubin's studio in Malibu,
which is an amazing thing to say, by the way.
Yeah, and it was the most creative we ever been. It's the happiest we've ever been. This studio is so unbelievably nice and cool and amazing, and it's like I was literally like Kanye had it blocked out all year pretty much, and whenever he was on Fashion Week or on tour, we got to sneak in there. It's just like a bro deal. And so I was literally sleeping in the same bed like Kim and Kanye sleep in. So I'm living outside my means. Nobody even told us how much this was costing. Right. And it was terrifying, because we knew that we're like, man, this has to be a lot. Yeah. And out of our budget. And Mike D and Rick Rubin they're like, don't worry, man, I'm getting a bro deal, a bro hookup. I'm like, yeah, but a bro deal between two multimillionaires is probably still a little out of my budget. Right. I don't know what the bro deal is. And then turns out, the bro deal was an insane break, but it's still like, oh geez, that's our budget, and now we're gonna throw it away and start it again. We got too comfortable, and we got a little too happy, so we had to go and just kind of take things down a notch. And like Beck said, you can't write if you can't relate. And we like to experience everything. Like Eric always says, one night we'll be at like the best restaurant in Paris, having like 5-star meals with Michelin rated chefs and stuff like that, and staying at a beautiful hotel. And the next day, we'll eat Pringles and sleep on a park bench. You never. It's like,
keeping you humble.
It's like we still like both,
right?
And that's we want to experience everything. And
but you don't get the creative stuff from the opulence, like
definitely.
I could imagine Mark McGrath on that Kim and Kanye bed in that studio writing every morning. There's a halo hanging from the corner of my girlfriend's 4-post bed.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I mean, Mark McGrath always wanted to be like the TV host.
Yeah,
like you got that sense from the guy. That's just like that's a personality.
Yeah,
that's the Access Hollywood dude. That's no one in this room. That's
definitely not. Yeah,
but so when it starts getting back to the songwriting, now you've had that, what's possible. You know, a level of comfort that can be attained. I hear "Cheer Up" as the first song that we've heard since the record came out.
Yeah.
It's a great song.
Yeah,
we're playing the crap out of this song right now.
Oh,
I love
really?
the song, but I also say like, it's a really catchy song too, And again, I don't want to make it sound like you guys haven't always written catchy songs. I feel like the world's catching up with you in a sense. But like, well, first off, what's the story on that song, and does it follow once all this has started happening for you?
Sort of. It's actually, first off with that song, with "Cheer Up," it's just Will Smith asked us to write a song for movies, and we're like, yeah, like a new Will Smith blockbuster. Like, we're like we get to go. Basically, we just like movies. We're like, do we get to go to a movie premiere? Cool. Free popcorn, free soda.
Man, that after premiere party was ridiculous.
That was hilarious. That was it was funny. We stuck around for about 15-20 minutes. We love to party, but sometimes it's like we don't go to the after parties. It's a little too bright and shiny for us. Like, after the Grammys, of course, there's a million things to do. We went to this like crazy communist Russian mob bar that's like this tiny little dive in New York.
Shout out to KGB in the East Village.
I would love that spot. And we just took all our friends and family there and invited people there. It's like it's great sometimes, but we just kind of stop by. But that thing was super fun. And the lyrics that we kind of toyed around with before and chord progressions that we kind of done, we did it actually pretty quick. And but it's like we're trying to make. We're getting better at writing music. We've always wanted to just write good songs, and when people start talking about like being pop or being on the radio, it's like, man, it's not. We know the tricks. We know if we just said "baby" in a song, we've known that forever. It's like we just place this with like "baby" or make a song about a girl. We know it'd do really well. Right. We don't want to do that. We want to do what we want to do, but we want to keep getting better. We want to write the best songs in the world. And we're never going to stop pushing ourselves to do that. And so it's not kind of going more pop. We're just trying to make it cleaner and more structured. Basically, our goal has always been, Ain't No Sunshine. Just a little over 2 minutes, one chord progression, one melody.
Oh, yeah.
Man,
it's so simple, but man, it takes me so many places. And people often say, we grew up playing in like prog bands. Both Eric and I have had 12-minute songs for sure. And when we play live, we've got some long and deep jams. But when it comes to that, it's like people say, "Oh, I could write a 3-minute pop song, no problem. That's easy." I'm like,
"No, you can't.
You can't."
Right.
Like if you write a 10-minute song, you have so much time to go play. It's like try telling the craziest, most amazing story of your life in under 3 minutes. Go. It's impossible to like go up, down, and take it somewhere, a really good story in 3 minutes. That's so hard to do. So we've been trying to do that, and that's like it's knowing what to do, it's knowing what not to do, and every time we record an album, we learn a lot. And so we're just gonna keep trying to make better stuff. But we want it to be catchy, we want it to be danceable, but we want it to say something. Mm-hmm. And I don't know why a lot of people get mad at that. I'm like, what's wrong with that?
Right.
That's one thing that really drives me crazy about the whole people kicking back against the mainstream and stuff. They'll write us when they hear us on a commercial or something during the game. It's like, man, you guys are on a commercial. What's up with that? That sucks.
I thought that mentality changed like 15, 20 years ago.
I thought so
a lot of
too.
people didn't get the memo.
Yeah, I think so. But what I don't get is I get you want things to keep small. Everybody wants a kitten. That's I'm like, dude, in a month it's just gonna be a cat. It's things don't stop growing. what I say to those people is I'm just like, well, you're already watching TV. You're watching the game or whatever. Are you saying that you would rather hear worse music? Like,
that's a good point.
I know. It makes
That's a
no
great
sense
point.
to me.
Yeah.
I wish there was a rad song on every single commercial, on every single movie, on every radio station. I wish the mainstream was like, it was all good. Let's make it better. You guys are, the whole reason you guys hate pop, those people hate pop music and hate the mainstream, is because they're not helping smaller bands that they like that have art and substance get up there. Help them up there. The mainstream could be amazing.
Every other band is using that variation of the strum 3-chord acoustic thing with the shaker, the stomps, the claps, and the hey.
Yeah,
Like every
right.
commercial's got that sort of variant.
Totally,
of that.
yeah.
I'm so tired of that song.
Yeah, I know, right?
Man.
Well, if you guys are the future of pop, if we're going to keep using that label, that's what this interview has turned out to be.
Yeah.
I feel better about the future of pop if that's what this is. So,
and we don't know.
Thank you. Keep doing what you're doing. That's all I'm asking
Yeah.
because I've loved your music for so long, and I do
much,
love
man.
that more people are finding you. I think that's the best part about this whole thing.
It's been pretty fun.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.